All right, the last film that we have here from Shudder is called Mad God.
And it is mad.
I'm gonna definitely let her talk more on this one. This one is a stop motion animation film made by Tippett John something Tippett something like that. What was it?
Tippett.
That's something I
bad with
remember.
names.
Yeah, Phil. I thought it was
Phil Tippett.
Paul, but it was like that's not right, is it? I know he did like the effects for Jurassic Park and RoboCop and Stormtroopers and fucking the Rancor and Return of the Jedi and all this really cool stuff. Now, what's this movie about, Kayla?
So, like
you tell me.
All the other movies we reviewed tonight, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of feel like I could pull something out of my ass. But
Would you like me to pull something off IMDb?
Yes.
A corroded diving bell descends amidst a ruined city, and the assassin emerges from it to explore a labyrinth of bizarre landscapes inhabited by freakish
denizens.
Denizens. What is a denizen?
Like a
demon?
Like dwellers and like people, like a being, an entity.
Denizens.
It's like another, yeah.
I don't know that word.
That doesn't, I mean, that's basically it, I guess. That's the plot.
Sure.
But it's...
If there is one.
Super psychedelic, super weird.
It's like heavy metal or something.
So it looks like a music video.
Yeah, like a Tool music video.
And, I mean, it's phenomenal as far as, like, the effects go. Like, it is, you're watching it just, I mean, at least for me, I was definitely amazed just thinking that somebody, was building and making all of these things, and just the creation that went into it is really wild to see. But there's no real, like, dialogue or anything. There might be a couple scenes where there's some words that are said by various characters, but nothing that's, like, carrying throughout the film. The main, the assassin guy doesn't speak at all.
Yeah.
And we never really see his face.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what his expression is.
Making sure I hit record.
You did, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I don't know. I don't know what this movie's about though at all.
No.
Like, it's wild. It's just really wild. You just go from so many different areas and see so many crazy things. There's really cool gore. It's very fantastical and, like, I don't know, otherworldly. Mm-hmm. But I have no idea what it's about.
Right, I mean, it's a visual treat for people who like this kind of artistic expression, where some, visual effects guy has really just kind of poured his mind onto celluloid and constructed it in a way that makes some kind of bit of sort of sense-ish, but not really.
I mean,
it's just supposed to be a nightmare, right? It's supposed to be this exploration of this world put together by some madman who has had years and years, because they said that he's been putting this together for like 30 years or something, really just kind of it's an amalgamation of probably every like model and reject model and everything he's probably ever made that didn't make it into a film. Probably just threw it all together in one large epic fucking room and just filmed all these like stop motion moments from it. Once you get past the visual feast that the film presents itself with, though, the film's going to run very thin otherwise, right? So, like, if you're not on board with what you're looking at, you're not going to be on board, right? You're going to hate this fucking movie very much because it offers nothing else to me. Now, I'm sure this could be one of those movies where someone drops acid and comes up with 17 different interpretations about how it's about the civil rights movement.
Well, okay.
What the fuck?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like there's like all these different moments throughout the film that definitely have like left an impression on me that they were trying to say something about various parts of society, like working jobs that you hate and child rearing and like being
Right.
yourself, like all these things, right?
Cogs in the machine.
Yeah, there's a lot of that,
Mm.
but it's all very visual storytelling and very trippy visual storytelling.
Yeah.
So it is really hard to draw like a solid through line for the whole film, at least for me. And I feel like I watch films pretty like, analytically most of the time. And with this one, it was like, it's hard. It's hard to keep track of everything that was going on and everything that had happened,
Take from it what you want. Right? That's really what you're going to get from this film. And I can't really say a whole lot more about it. It's just visual acid. And you're either into that shit. I brought up heavy metal because it feels similar-ish to that, where it's just a lot of trippy visuals that are kind of mashed together with a soundtrack, and you can get something out of it if you're looking for it and if you're high enough, or whatever. And that's going to really, really work for artistic people who respect this craft and are super into the visuals that are being presented. I was over it pretty shortly after it started.
That's unfortunate.
It is what it is,
yeah.
right? Like, you're either into this shit or you're not into this shit, and I totally get why someone would be enamored with this, and I can respect the craft for what I'm seeing as extremely impressive for what they're pulling off. I mean, I'll take a Lakia movie like the Box Trolls or Cuba and the Two Strings or The Missing Link or Coraline or Paranorman any day of the week over this. I think those things are fucking phenomenal marvels of stop motion animation. I mean, I don't know, those are way more impressive to me. And in addition to how incredible the visuals are, much more incredible than this, personally, the stories also are amazing, right? So you get way more bang for your buck. So if for some reason you haven't seen like Coraline or something like that, I would way more recommend that film than this, but that's me personally. This is supposed to appeal to me more. It kind of reminded me of some of the stuff that Astron 6 does for their films, like Father's Day or Manborg or any of those things. Stephen Katansky, who did Leprechaun Returns and Psycho Goreman and The Void. He worked with them, and he's a visual effects guy, and he does a lot of this kind of stuff for their lower budgeted films that they made before he went off and kind of had a bigger career. He's still making pretty independent films for the most part, but back when they were making like Manborg, it kind of had that feel to it, even, and it does have real people in this movie that are visually altered to a degree, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of like mashed together, kind of, with the visuals around them, and their faces are kind of blocked off and whatever. So you do have real humans in here for little moments, but their dialogue is extremely limited, and whatever it is, it's not like you get anything from it as far as a story. It's more just what the fuck, which is what this whole movie is. It's like, what are they saying? What's happening
Mad
here?
God, like,
yeah.
What kind of world would a mad God create? And this is it.
This is definitely one of those films that the audience that it has will fucking love it. Yeah. And it's a masterpiece to them, and they're going to come up with 15 different interpretations of what it meant and all that. And that's wonderful. That ain't me. That ain't me. I'm too dumb. I haven't done enough drugs. Whatever it is. This is the kind of stuff that I'm like, huh?
I mean, like, I'm right there with you, though. Like, I don't understand, like, the message. I'm sure if we watched it enough and if I was, like, really... I could try to make, something...
Yeah, you probably could.
No, you could, too.
I'm sure I could.
You
I just
could,
don't
too.
care.
But for me, like, yeah, it was more about the craft. It was watching, this... Just, it was amazing to see what was created. And I thought everything looked super cool. And I was really into that. And so... But, I mean, I could have watched... like 5-minute clips of things versus a whole like movie length film.
As I said, it's a Tool music video that goes on way too long and doesn't have Tool music on it.
But it's cool. It is cool.
It is.
It's cool. It's
it
like
is.
really. I mean, it's impressive.
But I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
right?
but it's like you've been saying. It will have a very specific audience
Hell
that
yes,
will be
it will.
super obsessed.
To be a cult fucking classic.
And honestly,
sure.
I do feel like it's deserving of that. For
sure.
how much work obviously went into it, like 100% it needs to get the praise that it deserves, but it is not for everyone.
Sure, I mean, that reminds me of, the... Why am I blanking on the title right now? That's weird. I never forget the title of this movie. Evil Within. Where it's just kind of like I love it too.
Oh,
but
man.
It's this film made by this very chaotic mind. Mm-hmm. It feels like some drug-induced coma that is just filled with nightmares, and you're putting them on screen. But I was really into that because I was connecting very heavily with the deeper meanings in the story, and I loved the visuals. And they just worked for me, and so it just kind of has that nightmarish quality to it, but not one that personally worked for me. But I get the appeal, and I know that this will have its audience. And if you did a lot of drugs when you were younger, or still do them,
you're like, whoa.
What the fuck?
You're like, whoa, bro. Yeah. Did you see that? Is that a fucking monkey? What?
Let's drop some acid and watch Mad God again.
Honestly, it sounds... I don't think I would take a psychedelic and watch this movie.
Oh,
I think it would be overwhelming beyond belief.
Sure.
Like, you don't need the drugs because this movie is like it is what a drug trip would be like.
Honestly though, another thing too, really quick before we end this, I didn't care much for the models.
Really?
And stuff.
Oh my god, I was like all about them. They looked so cool to me. They were like...
They looked very... cheap isn't right.
No, but they were like...
They looked like...
Like models.
They looked like they were like... Yeah, like unfinished, kind of like you bring them in to see what people's attention on them, see what they like.
I didn't feel like that.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't feel like that. But...
I didn't care for the stuff in this much.
Yeah.
Either. And that's just it. That's just my opinion. And I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's fine. I know there's enough people out there who's going to disagree heavily with me, and that's totally fine. Just not my thing. I'm glad you liked it more than me. That's for damn sure.
Otherwise we both would have been like...
And that's good. I mean, we rarely have like a pretty stark contrast in what we watch. Mm-hmm. This is definitely one of the biggest because I am not a fan, and she seemed to really enjoy it. So, which is great. I'm glad one of us did. Because it wasn't.
I'll take the next movie like this. It'll be me on the other side, like no, and you'll be all excited.
Yeah, like Predator.
Shh.
Yeah.
Don't tell my secret to the world.
Just kidding. All right, guys, let us know. Shudder. Bye. Bye.